Kelsey. All right, you're up. Kelsey is one of our students, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself.
Hey, I'm Kelsey. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I was led to H.E.A.R.T, which is kind of like a 1.5 year long story, but I won't take a 1.5 years to tell you because I feel like you'd be late for class. But in 2011, my best friend and I discovered a statistic that every 2 seconds, someone around the world dies of malnutrition. And honestly, I had like no interest in missions up till that point, but I just felt like God was putting it on my heart to do something about it, and we decided to devote our lives to doing something about it. So we incorporated a nonprofit at 19 years old called 2 Seconds or Less, and didn't know what we were doing. Like a lot of us here at H.E.A.R.T, we just kind of started, and a couple months later, we packed backpacks with like granola bars and tents, and like jumped on a plane to Zimbabwe, Africa, and we just knew we wanted to feed the hungry. And we got to Zimbabwe and stepped out of the airport and looked at each other and kind of just like started laughing. We were like, what are we doing? We have no idea. And we walked back inside and sat there, and I remember just like praying to God, like, hey, God, we know that you called us here. We know that we're supposed to be here, but like, why do we still not know what we're doing? Why are we in the Zimbabwean air and have no idea what we're doing with our lives? So we started praying about it, and within a few hours, we knew exactly where we were supposed to be. We met this Zimbabwean man by total chance that owns this organization in Zimbabwe that works with impoverished schools in the area. He provides like medical care and school fees and whatever's needed at these schools, and he was expressing to us how bad the nutrition situation is there, and how kids come to school every day on empty stomachs, and over 50% of them are orphaned, sometimes one parent, sometimes both. Some live with just their older brothers and sisters, and as most of you know, like the early years are the most important years for brain development. Without proper nutrition, they will never bounce back, especially between 1 to 5. If these kids aren't eating every day, they will never be the same. They'll never be able to be at the same level that we are because we had proper nutrition our whole lives. And so we rode around with Patrick, this man that we met. He's this Christian man, and he put us in the back of his truck, and we just drove around Zimbabwe, like the back roads, seeing all the schools, meeting all the kids that needed help and the teachers. And basically we had thousands of kids begging us to help. And here we are, like 2 19-year-old girls. We have no idea what we're doing. And we were just so humbled seeing this, like them basically on their knees begging us to provide them with proper food and nutrition. And one of my favorite quotes is, God doesn't call the equipped, he equips the called. And that just like hit me so hard because that's exactly what happened there. We jumped on a plane with no idea, and we ended up meeting this man with everything that we were brought there for. And so knowing that quote, we went home, and we were blessed with 8 amazing individuals that wanted to help with the organization. They've now become like the best friends we've ever had, and our employees for the nonprofit. And we raised together, in the matter of 2 months, $30,000 to help those kids. So we went back to Zimbabwe, and we dug wells. We did nutrition gardens, huge nutrition gardens. We worked alongside the kids every day, and we taught them about proper nutrition, how to plant seeds and grow them and harvest them, and how to implement them into their diets. And we studied a lot before this, different nutrition deficits that were prevalent in the country. And so we were able to talk to the kids about those and teach them, like, hey, this is why you have night blindness. It's because you have vitamin A deficiency, and this is how you plant to supplement that and eat these things, and that's how it'll help you. And so yeah. And then what led me here is actually I was in Zimbabwe this past July, and I was meeting all these kids with all these needs, and I'd sometimes go home with them. They'd show me their homes, and if you can call them a home, they didn't even have roofs, and sometimes they were going to the bathroom like right next to their bed. You know, it was absolutely crazy. And I actually emailed Phil the first time I was able to get on the internet, and I was just like, hey, I want to be able to help these kids even more than I already am. I want to be able to learn how to build roofs. And he emailed me back, I think, the next day and was like, yeah, just come to H.E.A.R.T. And it's been an amazing blessing being here, like being able to learn how to do these things more efficiently. And I guess my message for you is, like, if you have a passion, follow it. No matter how unequipped you feel, just follow it and go do, and then God will lead you to the point where you can actually do it right, where you can really help them. But the first step is to make that move. But yeah, being here, I've learned how to grow things more efficiently, how to communicate with people more efficiently. I know I had problems over in Zimbabwe already where communication just wasn't done effectively because I know so little about cross-cultural communications, and that's one of the classes we have here is like learning how to speak with people of different cultures that you're not really used to and how to understand them. And even just being around the people here, like the staff and interns have so much wisdom and knowledge. They've been over there as missionaries, and they have so much to offer, just stories to tell that I'm just beginning to experience. So it's been great.